We've got special use permit 19151, Haslett Gallery, Inc. And this is to establish a commercial medical marijuana provisioning center at 2119 Haslett Road. Planner Minzer.
I just have very brief, usually when these items are in for action, we don't do much of a staff intro, but I wanted to at least call your attention to, there's a brief cover memo with a motion to adopt the resolution. And this is our first time through with a resolution for this type of permit. So hopefully you've all checked it out. What we're trying to do here in the whereas section is just establish all the ordinances and everything that goes along with that up front. And then there's a series of conditions, basically conditioned on the project that they proposed, so the plans that they submitted, floor plan, sign program, the site plan itself, but then also any approval subject, so they have to actually get the marijuana permit from the township. They have to get their final approvals from the state. Maintain all those approvals in good standing, follow all the operational restrictions that are established in our non-zoning ordinance, and then any future changes that would come along, and this is separate from this, so there's the special use permit, so any changes to the site, but also any changes to their permit. There's kind of two different paths here. Anything that would change with the site would have to be updated after 1 year. There's a process whereby an applicant can we know they have to renew their marijuana permit, but at that time they could potentially expand the operation or relocate. But so that would happen separately from the special use permit. So what this resolution is saying, that any changes basically have to come back through to amend the special use permit. And that's it. And basically, there's a whole section in our non-zoning ordinance that talks about revocation and penalties. So there's a reference to that here, and also a reference to the special use permit could potentially lose it if they were to lose the other, the marijuana permit itself through the township. So just wanted to at least explain kind of what was in here. This is the first time I've written conditions for a medical marijuana special use permit. So if there's any questions about it, please let me know. Thank you.
I also note there, if any of the commission has any questions, there are representatives from the business here this evening. With that, it looks like we have a motion to adopt a resolution. Motion by Commissioner Hendrickson, second by Commissioner Trezise. Discussion?
I think we covered this thoroughly at the last meeting, and I'll be voting in support of this resolution.
Anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Anyone else? I would just add, I agree with Commissioner Hendrickson, and there were some concerns that were raised at the last public hearing that were sort of speculative. And as I mentioned last meeting, how those concerns are addressed are through ordinance provisions. Specifically, I remember there were concerns with loitering and potentially odors. We have provisions in the Code of Ordinances to address that. So if there are issues, there'll be enforcement action and they'll be taken care of.
I still am concerned that about special use request standards 4 and 5. Basically, I feel that it could be detrimental to the economic welfare of the surrounding properties, especially that of the karate studio. And realizing that either way I vote, and with regard to the straw poll last time, it wouldn't make a difference. But since that decision rests with the board, I think they should look at that closely. It is an activity that involves children. It isn't a private or public school, and it's not child care in that sense.
Commissioner Richards?
No.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Shrewsbury?
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrickson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cordell?
No.
Commissioner McConnell?
Yes.
Commissioner Trezise?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes.